Hi guys, Luca here from Sabre Airsoft with another VMP2. This is the VMP-2C, which has just launched. Alongside this launch, Vorsk are also launching now the CNC aluminium nozzles, and we'll have a look at these in a moment. But first, let's have a look at the VMP-2C. This isn't mine, this is a customer's. They very kindly let me have a look at it before I send it on to them. So let's have a look inside and see if they have changed anything obvious for this production run. Now I expect not. I expect it's pretty much going to be identical. We'll have a look anyway. So in the box, usual fact sheet. Don't see anything new on here. It is interesting to note that on this fact sheet they do say, do not overfill magazine with BBs. There must be a small space for the spring to move, highlighted yellow. Failure to leave a gap will cause nozzle breakage. That is true, and what I tell everyone, and yet most manufacturers don't mention that, so it's nice to see that Vorsk are. They also say do not use pure propane or butane, any camping gas in any circumstances. I can't officially say do that, but at the same time, if you want to, I've not found any issues doing that. Anyway, what else do we get? New patches to match the new variants. I think that's quite nice. I've always liked these. Sadly, I can't keep this, not mine. Looks like a spare nozzle. This looks to be a new type of nozzle. And this particular customer will be very happy with this because there is no restrictor in it. I suspected that would be the case. The charging handle as well is very different. Let's have a look at that. So we have a new style of charging handle, and compared to the older one, sticks out further, and it's a bit thinner. So we'll see how long these last. I've managed to break one, and I know others who have broken them as well. Also comes with a little short 20 round mag. Whoa. Come on, out you come. Okay, so it looks like you've got to lift it from the back and then pull it out as it's sunk into there. So, first off, first impressions, this is a Tech 9. It just, everything about it reminds me of a Tech 9. Just get that in there. Initial look at it. So yeah, brand new nozzles, grey nozzles. I've not seen them listed before. And I think that bolt carrier group is different. Let's have a look on this side. No, it does look to be the same. The grip's different. New grip, obviously no stock. You've got a rail there instead to put stock on. And obviously the guard is a lot smaller. Okay, what else we got then? Let's have a look. Same trigger group. Just do a quick, see if this still has that old problem. Possibly not. It looks like, yeah, there may be some material differences on some of the parts here. Let's put the box to one side and have a look. I'm not interested in chronoing it. They claim it's at 0.99 joules, and I am inclined to believe it without having to test it. Largely not going to test it because I don't actually have the time at the minute, as I do want to get inside and see very quickly if there are any major changes with the internals. Exactly the same upper and lower receiver otherwise by the looks of it. Possibly. There may be a difference at the rear there. 2 body screws. Same as before, 4 mils. They feel a bit stiffer. That was a little bit grindy there. Yeah. Possibly a manufacturing problem there. See, it's definitely ground onto something. There's little bits of metal there. Interesting. Okay. Looks like it ground away some of the coating on the upper receiver there. Just going to push the body pin through. So I'm not doing a full disassembly on this, as I promised I wouldn't, though I fully expect my customer will. That one is being very stiff. That's not fun. There we go. It's just being a little bit stubborn, probably because different pressure. This has happened on a few of them as well, where it's this, the retention ring seems to scratch up on this is definitely way more lube than the other ones have been in the past, so that's a nice improvement. The spring is a different color, so they've got a different hammer spring in there. What else? That is still very weak. Yep, still very weak. Let's see if this is any better. No, there's still a lot of travel before that resets. So it may still be subject to the gassing out issues. That remains to be seen. They may have corrected the gas dumping problems elsewhere. Tweezers, there we go. Nozzle back. There we go. Again, this seems like it's a different material. I'm not sure there's, I haven't even, this is literally the first time it's come out of the box, and that, I can assure you, is all over the top of the hot rubber. I had this on mine as well. It's from the TDC screw interacting with the indexer, and that ends up all along here. So I don't think they have changed the bolt carrier group. I'd heard a rumour that they would were doing an improved one, but this looks the same to me. It really does. It's the same grippy, bindy spring guide rod as well. But there is definitely no restrictor in there, which doesn't surprise me at all. So that means that there are now two completely unrestricted nozzle types, because the other one is these ones here. As you can see, no restrictor at all. In fact, yeah, I wonder, should we measure that? I wonder if about 5.2. Yep, 5.2. About 5.2 as well, or 5 thereabouts, accounting for these. So they're exactly the same, different mold or different color, which is interesting. Very, very interesting, but I don't see any difference between this and the old bolt carrier. Let me just grab a different one. There is a trick to this. If you depress the, if you pull the bolt back whilst lifting it, it does come out a lot easier. I'm just rushed off my feet a little bit today. So on the underside, on the undercarriage, they look to be the same. Again, there is definitely a difference in material here, I think. Different alloy, perhaps, slightly different. Overall length is probably going to be the same. 82.9. Oop. Oop. Maybe, we'll see. I should do it on the side here, that's probably better. 83. 83. So no surprise there. What else do we notice? Not a huge amount between the two. Obviously one's more worn than the other, but they still got the slots for the rollers. That is definitely a different alloy there. Yeah, looks like there is no real fundamental difference between the bolt carrier groups here that is obvious. No, the design is exactly the same. Okay. The only other thing would be the hop-up unit, but again, I don't see anything obvious. Let's just pull the screw out and see if there is an obvious difference. Actually, hold on, let's put that back in a second. Yeah, the slop is still present. Obviously didn't have a chance to change anything on the production line between these versions. No, exactly the same screw. Zero difference there. Now I'm not going to be putting any changes into this, as this particular customer will do it themselves and then probably do other stuff as well. Handguard, aluminium, obviously screws, steel, aluminium, everything else. So there is, guys, no difference really apart from the furniture and the nozzle between the VMP-2M, MD and the new variants as well. They are the same. It's just different furniture. And from what I understand, you can buy the furniture separately. So if you want this particular grip, which I'm unsure if it's better than the pistol grip. I am undecided. It's quite square. In fact, it's very square. It's not as comfortable. Yeah, I don't think I'd like that. And as for the grip, I mean, it's basically a Tech 9. As I say, guys, it's closest you'll get to one at the minute, I believe. Anyway, that's it for this one, guys. Catch you on the next one. In all my rush, I forgot to have a look at these, the new aluminium nozzles. This is for the VMP-2, and can I open this? I'm not sure I can, because I'm fairly certain I'm selling this one to someone, so it wouldn't be right for me to open it. What's that say there? M1 Joule. So this is supposed to be for the HPA users, and I can see, considering that they charge £100 for this, like that's what the MSRP for this is, £100, and all I can see is the machining marks all over it. For that price, I would expect a much better finish than this. I really, really would. There's also this one for the VMP. I can open the VMP one because I know that's going into a customer's replica that I'm putting it on. So let's have a look at the VMP one, because they should, I imagine, be somewhat functionally identical. Yeah, this finish is just terrible. Look at those machining marks there, and then look at all of that along the bottom, along here. Look, that's awful. And by the looks of it, they've even made the rocket valve out of aluminium. That's interesting. Now, I don't think I ever looked at the original VMP, but that is definitely aluminium, CNC'd, or bare minimum cast. Other than that, it looks to be the exact same dimensions. So, God only knows what they were thinking there. As always, I would not recommend an aluminium nozzle in general, but if for HPA, I understand why they've done it. It's less likely to break with the weird pressures that HPA does, and that's just flown out. I'm going to put this back together off camera, but there we go. That's the that's my thoughts on the aluminium nozzle. Do I recommend it? Not really. But if you insist, then you can get them. I'll say they are MSRP of £100, what, £99. You make your own decisions, guys. We do have an impasse that's coming out, which will work better with these. They would, in theory, work with those, but we have to be sure. And obviously, we won't advise it unless we know for sure. Anyway, that's it. That's it for this one, guys. Catch you on the next one.